What if I told you it's possible to find total isolation on the road in England for days at a time as long as you follow these 3 simple rules? Hi, I'm Walt, and welcome back to the stunning landscape of the Lake District. Join me on my biggest ever road trip around the far north of England and Scotland in my 20-year-old DIY Renault Traffic campervan. In this epic journey, I learn about myself, the landscape around me, and some of the basics of living in a van on the road. There are lots of ups and downs, twists and turns, and plenty of hidden gems are uncovered along the way as I meander into the wilderness. Let's begin with a detour that resulted in me trying out the off-grid lifestyle in a valley for a few days, where I explored a closed mountain pass, another beautiful lake, and also discovered, well, we will get to that. And welcome back to my own private valley. This is actually the first day of the entire trip so far, where it wasn't currently raining. Well, good enough anyway. So I decided to venture up the valley to see what was at the summit and follow this beautiful landscape through the moody clouds. So today I'm just going to have a chill day. I'm not going to drive anywhere. I pulled over to lay-by on this road, and I'm literally just going to stay here tonight if the weather kind of permits. Yeah, it's just so nice going slow, and the scenery, and it stopped raining for the first time in quite a few days, so I can actually go for a quick walk without getting everything soaked. I'm wearing wet trainers, obviously. There's not a lot I can do about that at the moment. This landscape really is the best. I think I can stay here for days. There's no internet, no reception, but I never realised until I didn't have it how much I really don't care. Certainly for a few days, you just can sort of stop thinking about everything. It's quite nice. Everyone who I'm supposed to be replying or whatever, emails and stuff, it's so it doesn't matter. And then you just put it out your mind. And now I'm this mountain is fantastic. The geology of the Lake District is actually very interesting. Most of the mountains in the Lake District were formed at the bottom of a deep ocean around 460 million years ago. Due to volcanic activity and tectonic plate movement, the mountainous landscape we see today was formed. This is Honister Pass, and there is a slate mine at the summit. So the first rule, in order to find total isolation in the UK, or anywhere really, is to visit out of season during poor weather ideally. As you can see from the river, there was far too much water flow for me to go for a swim, but still enjoyable to just go for a wander completely on your own, and not have to worry about traffic or parking. This landscape is amazing, this bit of landscape here. There's these little streams, mountain streams that come down sort of gaps, and then they disappear back underground again. Where's the gap? One thing I didn't realise until after I'd visited this area, Honister Pass, is that it actually holds the record for the most amount of rainfall in the UK over a 24-hour period, which really isn't that surprising considering how completely flooded the whole area was. There's a sign there just saying closed for repairs on this path, I think, and it is pretty boggy. It's annoying because I just wanted to go and see if I could get a look at one of those bridges, footbridges that look like something from Indiana Jones. And probably the ones that you're not allowed to go on. Right, let me just go down here a bit further. Yeah, these are. I'm not really sure what I say through most of this clip, but yeah, there was several of these little bridges across the top of the cliff, and they looked like such a cool walk. Although I think I was a bit worried about the condition of them because it was shut, obviously, so I was treating it like, I was in like Temple of Doom or something just as dangerous, like Country File. It's weird, it's like right next to a cafe. It's like, it's a slate mine. But, right, it's all outside the cafe now, so I'm going to get told off. Yeah, audio not very good in this bit either. I apologise. I didn't think about the wind when I was recording it. I think I'm saying something like, let's get out of the way of the cafe so they don't tell me off for being there. Probably can't hear any of this. It's like one of those things a YouTuber would do, isn't it? Like go on a sketchy cliff footpath. Imagine being that guy. What is this all about, right? So this bridge looks sketchier than the other one. Yeah, I was worried about these bridges because I was running on the assumption that the sign said closed for like a good reason. Although it didn't appear to deter me from, being an idiot. It's a bit of excitement though, isn't it? Yeah, I felt a little bit unsure of that one. Like it did say it's closed. But fuck it. It's like one of those things where I'm willing to risk my life to make a video for free. It's not that really. It's more just because I wanted to. And then I say, I don't think I'm going to go much further because it's turning into a bit of a cloud. Although this place is pretty damn special. Oh, I've just remembered that I forgot to turn the gas off in my van on the regulator. So if there's like an almighty explosion in a minute, looks like I'm walking back from the Lake District. Can't be that far, it's only like, 400 miles or something. I wonder how many miles it is. 300? Can't be an insane amount. Probably do that in a few weeks, couldn't you, if you sort of like toddled along. Someone's tried to build a little house, shelter. It's a bit weird, this place. I remember just seeing all the stones there, and I was trying to figure out if it was man-made or not, which I can only assume it's part of the slate mine, and they just put them there. I don't know what's happened. Maybe they chuck it here, or it's just fallen off the cliff. I don't know, it looks more man-made to me. Hallelujah. That's the first bit of sunlight just on the top of that I've seen in nearly a week. Today is the first day where it's actually been nice to go for a walk. Even though it's still bitterly cold and windy, but I can deal with that. Oh, look at that. It's going to make me want to stay longer. So we survived the path of death, but not sure how far it goes. Actually, it goes much further. Yeah, it goes all the way up the cliff, I look at it. It's well sketchy. Don't think I'm going to go up there. It's like proper climbing territory. There's like some weird hoist mechanism or something made out of metal. I'll zoom in, but you won't be able to see it. Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm in some kind of action movie when I film sets like this. Obviously I've got the sort of charisma for it, and the build. This direction is facing back towards Buttermere, and where I was kind of filming in the last couple of episodes. Oh, I see what's going on. It's like there's like a zip line up there with ropes and pulleys and things. There's a guy up there climbing, so that's what's closed. And there's like this little cave with a waterfall pouring over the middle of it. So that's probably where I think that's probably where all the ropes and things are tethered to. But that'd be amazing to go in there. But you need all your climbing gear and everything to get there. That's probably what's actually shut. Oh, there's two of them. Doubt you can see that. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, they've nearly made it. Although I imagine you're technically not supposed to go up there. Oh well, I won't be going up there. I'll just give you that one for free. I'm not a climber. I'm a faller. That's funny. That's funny that it's not actually this path that's closed. I can't believe I thought that. Well, I was going to say, because it's not, as far as paths go, it's sort of, I think my driveway's a bit more treacherous than this, so, yeah. What is that? Is that like an omen of things to come or something? Like, what's the deal there? So the second rule of finding isolation on the road is to visit a non-touristy area. Obviously I realise we're at the slate mine at the moment, but if solitude is what you're after, then generally I would stick to that as a rule. Sometimes the best areas are the ones that don't have very good internet or phone signal also, but that depends whether that's important to you. From van life, or possibly that. Okay. Got some chores done. It may not look it, but it is a lot tidier than it was. Filled up some water and found like tons of water that's like all the condensation that's dripped onto the floor everywhere and behind the curtains, so I've sorted all that out. Right. I think it's just started raining again. I'm like drying everything out here. I've got all my shoes under the van because I figured it's quite breezy, they might dry. So it's a good idea, isn't it? So at the top of the hill, there's actually a website, honister.com, and I found out afterwards they do lots of activities like mine tours and cliff camping. Some tadpoles. So, if that's your kind of thing, maybe come back in peak season and check them out. And this is looking back towards Buttermere. I think the pass actually goes all the way to Keswick, or Derwentwater, and it's the one with the incline of 25%, one of the steepest in the area. Obviously I managed it, but I'm basically just heroic. And now just a little bit of sunlight for the sunset just poking through. If that cloud just shifts, that'd be so glorious. So this is what I'm having for dinner. Probably make a couple of meals. It's going to be pretty good. Got potatoes, some pork chops and some veg. Might try and get rid of those eggs somehow as well. Egg someone, because I got a date today. Yeah, it's quite difficult to get a good shot here, isn't it? Right. It's like hardly any room in here, but I'm going to try something. And I can't sing, so it's going to be whistling, I'm afraid. It's kind of my trademark. Yeah, these are just a few covers. I haven't tuned this guitar since before I left, probably quite a long time before I left. It's like, I'll show you. It's just like a Jag Squire, like a cheapo
copy of like a Fender Jaguar, but it just fucking stays in tune. I mean, it's an E flat, it's not in standard, but well, it's close. Obviously, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Considering how wet this van is as well. You have to guess that one.
Winner gets a shiny penny.
Friday night in my van.
Living it up.
In the valley, in the Lake District. Don't know, it's just an experiment this, really. I've got a loop pedal at home, but obviously I can't bring that with me. Right, this is why I don't sing, because I've got like no range, so I've got to sing stuff like an octave lower, and it's not singing, it's basically just like muttering. It's like I have to sing really low. Got more damp problems. I just cleaned it all up. It's all just like soaking wet every morning, like all across the floor, like all down here. That's like it's like a sponge, and then it just runs down everywhere. Yeah, gonna need some caffeine today. Oh, it's nice the sun's come out. Yeah, got really cold last night. I think that's what caused some of these condensation problems. Like it must have gone down to nearly 0 at one point. So I couldn't sleep until like 2 because I had to turn the heater on, and that took ages for it to warm up and stuff. I haven't used the heater yet, so it must have got pretty cold because I've not been that bothered until now. I was like suddenly my survival kicked in. I was like, fuck, this is really cold. So, but we're going to be moving on. I've just spotted more bits I need to wipe down. Oh well. What a view.
So, this leads to the third rule of finding solitude while being on the road in the UK. You need to be self-sufficient. Basically, the ability to cook, carry water, having on-board facilities, if you catch my drift, so that you can leave no trace. It's respectful to the natural surroundings. Also, one thing I did learn about myself on this trip is that playing music and being creative was a powerful motivator and distraction from any feelings of loneliness. Generally just good for my overall spirit. Plus, there were no neighbours to complain either. The next day I ventured off to Derwentwater and discovered a great woodland walk that ran along the edge of the lake, on the west side. I'd say this was one of my favourite areas for walking due to the stunning views and the winding footpaths and the small beaches, obviously. It is near to the Catbells Mountain Peak, which is a popular hiking location, probably worth noting. It's also near Keswick, one of the larger towns in the area.
I wonder what brought these about. Couple of hands. These must be pretty old trees. They're being exposed by the rising water level.